Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another league race highlight video. This is round number 6 of GASR and it's Bahrain. And it's a wet weather chaos event. So we're going to have full rain, basically full wets, and then it's going to go to dry, and then it's going to go back to full rain or full wets. So I'm going to break this down for you as I watch it with you. And this is the end of Q3 here. Obviously we made it into it, and right now we're in P2. So we're going to try to just send it on this lap, and our setup here it's not a full dry setup. So it was a bit of a mix, and we were kind of limited with the time that we were able to do. I thought a 0.9 was possible, and you'll see at the end of this lap that actually turns out I think a 0.8 would have been possible with it. So we are up. We're doing very good on this lap so far. We're up a tenth and a half, and we're going to come through here. We're going to go down to 5th. We're going to short shift to 6th here. And we're going to come around this turn. We're going to be in 3rd. We're going to get great traction. So we're up over 2 tenths now. Coming into turns 9 and 10, which are very tricky. We're going to take that nicely. Now we do lose a little bit of time there. So it wasn't amazing, but we're still up almost 2 tenths. So coming through here, we are going to gain that time back. So now we're up over 2.5 tenths. Coming through here, this is where I left a lot of time on the first lap, so we're going to gain a lot of time through here. We're up over 3 tenths now. We're coming up to 3.5 tenths. So all we need to do is basically just nail this last corner. We don't even have to gain time. But unfortunately, we're going to go in early. We're going to clip that curb, and we're going to lose quite a bit of time. We lost almost a tenth and a half in that last turn. So we unfortunately just kind of bottled pole. Pole was a 127.927, and we were just over a tenth away. Had we not bottled that last turn, I think we definitely would have had a high 0.8. So that was a little disappointing, but moving on to the race here. A few people started on wets. Our strategy was to start on inners and go straight to the dry pit stop, because I knew the wets wouldn't make it. So we got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go. Now I practiced this a few times, and the grip on inter tires on a full wet track it's absolutely horrible. So I knew I was going to get overtaken by a few cars on the first lap, and my strategy, my idea was to not fight them, just kind of let them overtake me and just kind of carry on, try not to lose too much time to those wet runners. Now here, I thought this McLaren was going to go on the right side of me, so I slowed down because I wanted to let both of those cars go past me. And unfortunately, when I watched the replay back of my own race replay, it looked like he lost part of his wing. He slammed into the wall, and that was really unfortunate. If you watch my actual stream, you can hear me saying I hope he didn't lose his wing from that. So it was a little bit of an unfortunate event. I wasn't brake checking him or anything like that. I just thought they were going to go basically on either side of me, so I decided to brake early, and he cut back across and hit me. So apologies to him if he happens to watch this. So we are down to P6 now, which was expected. We are trying to keep up with these cars the best we can, because after about 3 or 4 laps, we're going to start getting more grip. It's going to turn into more interweather after around lap 4.
Okay, no issues with tire.
So we're just checking to make sure we don't have any damage from that collision. So here we absolutely just screw ourselves. We broke too late, and we unfortunately locked the rear. The car spun out, so we went from P6 to P12. So this is another lap 1 mistake, which I'm just disappointed in myself for making these mistakes. I should know better, and they're happening a little bit too often. So I really need to work on that. So that kind of screwed our strategy in terms of fighting potentially for a race win, because that cost us quite a bit of time. So we're on lap 4 now, And we're going to gain a whole bunch of positions here now because those wet runners are going to pit for fresh inters. So we are up to P3 now, and we are behind the Williams. And we are going to gain a position here because he is going to just go somewhere. I'm not even sure where he went. But that gave us a position, so we'll take it. So we're up to P2 now. And we have one wet runner still ahead of us, so we know he's going to pit. So this is the end of lap 5. And that Ferrari is going to pit. So we are going to take the lead of this race. And our tires are worn. We do set the fastest lap very shortly though. I think somebody else is going to set one here. Yeah, and they continuously get faster as the laps go on. So we are up 3.3 on the car behind. I believe the car behind also didn't pit. I believe he started on inters as well. So we're going to move on to lap number 11 now. And the Alfa Romeo behind us did start on wets, and he is on fresh inters now. His tires are a lot fresher than mine. So we're going to come down here. He's going to send it around the outside. We're going to try to fight it, but we don't really have much. We don't have the grip that he has. He gets better traction, so we're going to concede that position, and we're back down to P2 now. So the track's starting to dry up. It's still wet, but it's not raining. So I know that the dry pit stop will be soon. So now we do have the Aston Martin behind us, which did also start on full wets. So his inters are also a lot fresher than mine. So we're checking the weather report just to see when it's going to dry up. He's going to go down the inside of us. We're not even going to fight it. So we're down to P3 now. And we're going to fake pitting, but we're not going to pit. We're going to stay out. So we're coming on to lap 12 now, and we are deciding to pit for dries, just as the cars ahead of us are as well. So we do have a good pit stop. Now, I put on fresh mediums. Everybody else you'll see is going to put on fresh softs. We did have a lobby restart, so all the tires are fresh. So in hindsight, I probably should have put on fresh softs. I honestly thought the softs would die off faster than what they did, because we did do a fair amount of dry laps. And I forgot to change my differential the whole dry stint. I left it on 60. It should have been 55. This whole race, I don't know what it was. I just wasn't focused. It's hard to say. So right here, lap 14, we're going to get overtaken by the Williams and the Red Bull. So we're going to try to fight that back here. We do get a good exit. We're going to turn on the overtake, open up the DRS, but we just don't have the speed. So we're on lap 14, coming on to lap 15, and Mercedes is also going to overtake us now, and we're going to try to fight him. So we don't want to lose this position. We're going to fight him. We're going to go around the outside. We're going to hang on to that, and we're going to get good traction, and he doesn't get us. So we do keep that position. We are in P5. Now he's going to come back at us here, and he's just got more grip. So he's going to get us in that corner, so GG for you, good move. So we are the first of the medium runners now, and we're down to P6. So I just want to, right now, I'm just trying to stay with this pack of cars because I'm hoping that their tires are eventually going to fall off. So lap 19, we did have a VSC. So I'm going to get up close to this Red Bull here. And we're going to catch him napping. We're going to go for a move after this turn. We are going to go send it down the inside. We're going to take the apex nicely. We're going to leave space for him. We're going to get great traction. And we're going to get that move done. So that was a pretty nice move. I don't know, that was probably the best thing that happened in this race, to be honest. It wasn't a very eventful race. I didn't really enjoy it, but that was a good overtake. So moving on to lap 21 now. The Red Bull is going to come back at us. We don't really have much straight line speed. I used a very high wing setup after the lobby restart. I was on 50-47 wings, so it was probably not the best setup, but I wanted to have high downforce for the wet stints. So we do hold on to this position. The Ferrari and the Red Bull were looking to make a move. We do hold them off, and as you can see, it's starting to rain now. So lap 21, it's starting to rain. So we did stay with these two soft runners ahead. So we're going to come to this is what I thought we were going to come to a little bit sooner.
Okay.
So lap 21, we decided to pit here. I don't think DRS was disabled yet, but I decided to take a bit of a gamble, try to maybe get an undercut, because the cars ahead were pretty far ahead at this point. So we're going to come in here, we're going to get a good pit stop. And unfortunately, we're going to get jumped by the Ferrari. They don't have the esports pit ghosting thing on in this league, so we unfortunately did get held up slightly, I think, by the car that was behind us, and that allowed the Ferrari to get ahead of us. So we do come out, and we're in P9 right now on lap 22. So we are going to get a position back. You'll see after this straight here, this Ferrari does, I'm not sure what happens here, but he almost comes to a stop in the corner. Right here, he goes out wide, and I'm not sure if he was just letting us go. I don't think he was. I think he had some sort of technical issue with his controller, with his wheel, because we're 2 seconds ahead of him now. If he was just letting us go, he'd be obviously right behind us still. So I'm not really sure what happened there. Didn't ask him, don't know. But again, it's a position, so we'll take it. So we're coming to the end of lap 22, starting lap 23. A few of those cars ahead pitted. So we are going to come out. There's going to be a Williams coming out. So I think we did overcut him, or undercut him, sorry. So we are P4 right now. And the cars, 3 cars ahead are 6.5 is the closest car, so we're not even in the same ballpark as them. We're not going to catch them. So we're coming around lap 24 now, starting lap 25. We get a very poor exit. So the Williams is breathing down our neck here. He's going to overtake us, because I think everybody probably had lower wings than me. So we're just gonna get behind him. We're not gonna do any crazy dive bombs or anything like that. We're just gonna try to stay with him. Maybe he'll make a mistake. Maybe we can get that position back. So we're coming to lap 28 now. We're about to start the final lap, and we do have the Ferrari behind us. And the Red Bull is 1.3. So the Ferrari's caught back up over 2 seconds. So I guess he's really good in the wet. Better than we were. So right now it's basically full wet conditions, and I'm going to play this whole lap just so you can see how much I struggled on this final lap. It just wasn't fun. There's nothing else I can say about this. It just, it was a challenge, but I would have much rather done Bahrain in the dry. Usually every race it's dry, There is the odd chance it could rain, but 1 out of 1,000 races you'll probably have rain here if you do dynamic. So we're going to come around this turn, and we don't have any traction at all. We're just lighting up the rears. So we're in P6. We're going to try to stay in P6, try to salvage the race. At this point, I'm not happy with the way it went. The lap 1 incident where I almost spun out, I did lose a lot of time, but ultimately I think the right strategy was to start on the full wets and make that extra pit stop onto the inners. I think that was probably the faster strategy. As you can see, I'm still spinning the tires here, just trying to hang on to the car, just trying to finish this race, trying to stay ahead of this Red Bull. So we're coming around here. We're on the straight. We got a little bit of overtake. We're gonna turn that on. We're gonna drain the battery. So we're 3/10 ahead of him. He is catching us. So we basically have 1 turn left to secure P6, and we basically just drift around that corner, and I can't even get traction here to save my life. So he's gonna get ahead of us. It's gonna be a P7. So that's basically how that race went. Like I said, I wasn't happy with it, but we're going to move on to Jeddah next week. Same time, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you guys enjoyed the video, if you could like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. And if you want to check out the next one, I'd appreciate that too. So take care.